friends, today's video is yoga to support your pelvic floor and build strength and treat symptoms of incontinence or prolapse. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa. I'm a physical therapist and the founder of Brick House Bones. And this video is part of a 7-video series that I have for my Brick House Bones members to help protect and strengthen the pelvic floor and do our Brick House Bones Osteoporosis Strong Bones exercises. If this is something you like and you want more of it, please consider checking out brickhousebones.com and joining the membership. Membership programs like that help support free content like this. And I thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. We're going to work on our mats today, on our back and on our hands and knees, taking a connection to the breath work and how that ties into our pelvic floor, bringing awareness to our pelvic floor as we add movement and using our breath to change the pressure. And all of these movements we know are neuromuscularly connected to making sure we do get engagement of our pelvic floor. So know that even if you don't feel it, it's still working. I'll join you on the mat on our backs. Wonderful. Okay, feet flat. Let's find that neutral pelvis, so not flat, not all the way arched, somewhere in the middle that feels right to your body. Palms down. And then just taking time, we're going to work on our diaphragmatic breathing into the belly, expanding up and out. And then as it fills into the rib cage, we're going to exhale with a ha. And when you audibly say ha, you'll feel a tension forming here, and that is the muscle activation that we want you to become aware of. Also, while you're breathing, if you bring a little mindfulness to what may be happening with the pelvic floor. So our diaphragm is expanding and rising, falling, and so does our pelvic floor. All right, palms down. Let's work 3 full deep breaths here, remembering to audibly ha on the exhale. Squeeze, good. All the way. Feel that little bit of tension building in the belly. Very good. Next 2 breaths, 3 breaths. See if you can feel a slight uplift and a slight lowering of the pelvic floor. Inhale, you may notice the pelvic floor slightly lower. Exhale, you may notice it slightly draw up and in. Try not to control it, just let it happen naturally. Sometimes with the pelvic floor, it's not an issue of too much or not enough tension, but it's too much tension or overactivity. So as you're bringing awareness to what's happening here, see if there isn't a place that needs a little softening, a little relaxing, and see if you can direct your breath to that location and just allow that softening to occur. Let the belly fill naturally, and then exhale fully with the ha. Beautiful. As we work to control the pressure that happens with our breathing and our effort. We're going to coordinate the breathing so we exhale on the effort and then we inhale on the rest phase. So inhale, exhale, reach overhead. Inhale, exhale, return. Other side. Inhale.
What's up with the inhale?
Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's coordinate that now with our legs. Inhale. Exhale. Return. Inhale. Other leg. Exhale. Feeling a little bit of bracing through the lower body. Coordinating this slow march. Inhale, lower the leg. Exhale, raise the other leg. Feel that tension. Good. Inhale. Great. Palms down. Now we're going to add a new movement of the leg moving out to the side, one at a time. You may place your hands in your lower abdomen here. See if you can just notice what's happening. We're going to inhale. Exhale, right leg rotates out. Inhale. Exhale, left leg rotates out. Inhale. Right leg. Inhale. Left leg. Inhale. Exhale, right leg. Inhale. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, relax. Very good. Grab your yoga block. I should have told you to have that close, so if you need to pause the video, grab your block. If you don't have a block, you can use a pillow or a ball. That's just fine. We're going to place the block between our knees. We're going to squeeze that block, and as we do that, we will be exhaling. So the exhale with the block squeeze. If you need to cinch up your knees a little more, you may, or your feet rather. Okay. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze. See if you can draw up through that pelvic floor just a little bit. Notice that sensation of pulling up and in slightly with the squeeze. Exhale, relax. Inhale, I lost my order. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze, drawing up and in. Inhale, relax. Beautiful. Set that block aside, but we will be using that again. Okay, advancing up through the difficulty a little bit here. We're going to inhale, both knees up. we go, finding that position. Now we're finding a little core engagement in this position. So tightening through that lower pelvic area, doing a little drawing up and in here. Inhale, exhale, tap the heel down. Inhale, exhale, tap the other heel. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In, out. In, out. In, both feet down. Relax. Very good. Let's place the soles of our feet together. Let the knees fall out into cobbler's position, supine, reclined cobblers. One breath here. Invite a little relaxation, invite a little softness into the pelvic floor as you breathe through here. I think we can get a better sensation of the pelvic floor kind of dropping down on the inhale in this position. Just breathe into the belly. Exhale all the way, feeling that sensation of drawing up. Inhale. And the next exhale, we'll bring the knees together. Beautiful. Let's take that block back between the knees. Pressing the hands and feet. Same coordination here. We're going to work into a yogi bridge with a box squeeze. So it's inhale. Exhale, squeeze, lift the hips, squeeze the block, press through the feet. Inhale to come down. Exhale, lift, squeeze the block. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale, release. So we know that there's a neuromuscular connection between combining those movements and activation of your pelvic floor muscles that helps support our internal organs. So that's one of the better movements we can do to help train that, even if you don't feel it. Okay, so let's take the hands behind the head. Big breath. Inhale and exhale the knees to the right. Just as far as is comfortable, no forcing. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale back to center. Knees to the left. Inhale back to center. Wonderful. Let's just give a nice little hug to the left knee into the chest. Grab behind the left knee, press that foot to the ceiling. Release the knee, release the foot. Let's bring that right knee in, give it a little hug. Grab behind the knee, let's press that right foot up to the ceiling. We're still working our breath. Maybe breathing into that tight hamstring, inviting a little softness there. Still finding that connection to the pelvic floor on the exhale. Good, bend the knee, release the foot back down. Beautiful. Okay, let's roll onto our sides and then come up onto our hands and knees. And in this hands and knees position, we're going to go for that flat back. So no cat-cow here. We want to push the floor away firmly. Make sure hands are under shoulders and knees are under hips. Neutral with the neck, eyes are looking just ahead of the fingertips, in between the hands. And feel that sensation. See if you can connect to that lower abdominal muscle, that cinching up the zipper on the pants muscle. Connecting the pelvic bones together, a little bit of drawing up of the pelvic floor as you still breathe through the belly. Connecting to the pelvic floor in this little bit more challenging position. Breathing into the back, into the abdomen, into the ribs. 360 degrees of breath. Expanding through the whole trunk. Beautiful. Adding to the layer of challenge here into our opposite arm and leg reach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Go wide with your knees. Walk those hands forward. Inhale. Exhale. Sit back into an extended child's pose. Breathing into the back, into the pelvic floor. Inhale, rise. Coming back onto our backs. Mindful here, exhale the left leg long. Inhale. Exhale the right leg long. Rotate those palms up. Snuggle those shoulder blades together. Shake out anything that needs to shake out. Settle into the full and complete support of your mat. And with the next 3 breaths, as we come into Shavasana, note your whole body breathing. The whole body breathing. The breath reaching fingertips to toes. Let your breath just be relaxed and natural at its own rhythm without controlling it. Bringing attention to any sensation, any thoughts, any feelings, just observing them from afar, just noticing them without any need to change them, push them away, draw them closer, just watch them be. Slowly bring those knees up, inviting movement back in, coming into a seated position. I'm reminded of how much I truly need that pause at the end. Like, this practice was lovely. That pause at the end to me was the most important. I thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that practice. I wish you well in your journey for strong bones, a vibrant, active, and independent life. Namaste. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Lisa. I'm a physical therapist and a specialist in osteoporosis and bone health exercise. I do it for myself and I share it with you.